Bienvenue chez Examens, votre partenaire de confiance pour réussir vos certifications. Nous proposons des supports d'études complets, en ligne et hors ligne. Et nous sommes là pour vous guider pas à chaque étape. Des guides PDF détaillés aux exercices pratiques bien structurés. Toutes les questions essentielles sont soigneusement couvertes pour vous donner toutes les chances de réussir. Vous aurez toujours les bonnes ressources à portée de main. Téléchargez les PDFs. Faites des tests et connectez-vous à notre équipe d'assistance experte. Avec la pratique interactive en ligne. Entraînez-vous et quand vous voulez. À votre rythme. Nos PDFs prêts pour l'examen sont soigneusement élaborés et régulièrement mis à jour. Des milliers d'apprenants certifiés font confiance à notre qualité et à notre sérieux. Des professionnels qualifiés sont disponibles pour répondre à vos questions. Commencez dès aujourd'hui et donnez à votre préparation l'avantage décisif avec Examens. Visitez Examens.com dès maintenant. Examens. Votre parcours vers le succès commence ici.
Question 1. Which virtual MAC address is the default for HSRP version 2 Group 10? Option A. 0000 5E00 0110. Option B. 0000 OC9F F00A. Option C. 3784 0898 1COA. Option D. 0000 OC9F F010. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B 0000.0 C9F F00A. Question 2. Refer to the exhibit. Which statement about the ERSPAN configuration in this environment is true? Option A. The session number of the source of ERSPAN spanned traffic must have a session ID of 47 for the traffic analyzer to receive K. Traffic. Option B. Host B is the source of ERSPAN spanned traffic and host A is the traffic analyzer. Option C. The session number of the source of ERSPAN spanned traffic must have a session ID of 48 for the traffic analyzer to receive K. Traffic. Option D. Host A is the source of ERSPAN spanned traffic and host B is the traffic analyzer. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D. Host A is the source of ERSPAN spanned traffic and host B is the traffic analyzer. Question 3. Refer to the exhibit. Which two statements about the routing table of the leaf switch are true? Choose 2. Option A. 10, 20, 1, 024 is a BD subnet in ACI. Option B. The next hop 10, 0, 1, 14 for route 172, 16, 99, 024 is the TEP address of a border leaf in ACI. Option C. 172, 16, 100, 024 is a BD subnet in ACI. Option D. The next hop 10, 1, 168, 95 for route 172, 16, 100, 024 is the TEP address of a border leaf in ACI. Option E. The next hop 10, 0, 8, 65 for route 10, 20, 1, 024 is the TEP address of a border leaf in ACI. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. 10, 20, 1, 024 is a BD subnet in ACI. Option D. The next hop 10, 1, 168, 95 for route 172, 16, 100, 024 is the TEP address of a border leaf in ACI. Question 4. Which en-route state is created when bidirectional PIM is deployed at a site? Option A. Asterisk. G. Option B. MVPNTYPE6. Option C. MVPNTYPE7. Option D. S. G. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A asterisk G. Question 5. Refer to the exhibit. Which statement about the default gateway configuration of the VPC is true? Option A. Either switch can act as the active default gateway. Option B. N7K1 acts as the default gateway for all traffic. Option C. N7K2 forwards traffic that is destined for the default gateway by using the peer link. Option D. N7K2 acts as the default gateway for all traffic. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. Either switch can act as the active default gateway. Question 6. Refer to the exhibit. What must be connected to clear the not ready status? Option A. Layer 1 Layer 2 ports. Option B. Server chassis. Option C. Management ports. Option D. Network uplinks. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. Server chassis. Question 7. A small remote office is set to connect to the regional hub site via NSSAASBR. Which type of LSA is sent to the remote office OSPF area? Option A. Type 7 LSA. Option B. Type 1 LSA. Option C. Type 5 LSA. Option D. Type 3 LSA. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. Type 7 LSA. Question 8. Refer to the exhibit. The STP priority of N7K1 and N7K2 are the lowest in the network. Which statement describes STP on the VPC? Option A. N7K1 and N7K2 appear as a single STP route. Option B. N7K1 appears as the STP route. Option C. N7K1 preempts N7K2 as the STP route. Option D. N7K2 appears as the STP route. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. N7K1 and N7K2 appear as a single STP route. Question 9. The engineer must configure span on a Cisco Nexus 5000 series switch to get a capture of the traffic from these applications for an in-depth packet analysis. Which two span characteristics must be considered? Choose 2. Option A. Span source ports can be monitored in multiple span sessions. Option B. The Ethernet, FC, VFC, port channel, SAN port channel can be used as span source ports. Option C. A span source port cannot be a destination span port. Option D. Only Ethernet, FC, VFC, port channel port types can be used as span source ports. Option E. The RX, TX option is available for VLAN or VSAN span sessions. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. The Ethernet, FC, VFC, port channel, SAN port channel can be used as span source ports. Option C. A span source port cannot be a destination span port. Question 10. Refer to the exhibit. What is configured as a result of running these commands? Option A. Loose unicast RPF. Option B. Strict unicast RPF. Option C. IP source guard. Option D. Reverse lookup for outbound packets. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. Strict unicast RPF. Question 11. A customer has a requirement to deploy a cloud service and needs to have full control over the underlying OS, data and applications. Which cloud model meets this requirement? Option A, MaaS. Option B, PaaS. Option C, SaaS. Option D, IaaS. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D, IaaS. Question 12. Refer to the exhibit. A flapping link issue has been reported on the VPC Keep Alive link. A packet capture has been activated on the Cisco Nexus switch. Which is the destination IP address of the VPC Keep Alive packets that are sent by the switch? Option A, 192.168.254.4. Option B, 192.168.254.1. Option C, 192.168.254.2. Option D, 239.255.70.83. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A, 192.168.254.4. Question 13. Due to a major version change, an engineer must perform a software upgrade on a Cisco Nexus series switch. Which two technologies should be implemented to reduce disruptions to the network during the upgrade? Choose two. Option A, VPC. Option B, HSRP. Option C, VDC. Option D, MLAG. Option E, PAGP. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A, VPC. Option B, HSRP. Question 14. Refer to the exhibit. Which is the result of running the command presented? Option A, multicast traffic forwarding is suspended. Option B, MRIB is flushed. Option C, the PIM database is deleted. Option D, PIM join messages are suspended. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C, the PIM database is deleted. Question 15. Refer to the exhibit. Which is the reason the system FMVRRP checkpoint was created? Option A, the VRRP process crashed and the checkpoint was automatically created. Option B, the VRRP service restarted and the checkpoint was automatically created. Option C, the network administrator manually created it. Option D, the VRRP enabled feature has been disabled. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D, the VRRP enabled feature has been disabled. Question 16. What are two capabilities of the Cisco Network Assurance Engine? Choose two. Option A, it validates that devices comply with network security policies. Option B, it predicts the impact of changes to the network. Option C, it predicts the network load on a data center. Option D, it ensures that network performance meets SLA. Option E, it verifies the speed of network packet flows by using telemetry. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A, it validates that devices comply with network security policies. Option B, it predicts the impact of changes to the network. Question 17. Which is an advantage of streaming telemetry over SNMP? Option A, on-change traps sent to a receiver. Option B, periodic push-based subscription messages. Option C, periodic polling of the device status. Option D, MD5-based authentication on polling. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B, periodic push-based subscription messages. Question 18. A PIC EPG resolution immediacy is set to immediate. Which statement is true about the deployment immediacy for VMM domains associated to EPGs? Option A. If on demand is selected. The policy is programmed in the hardware only when the first packet is received through the data path. Option B. If immediate is selected. The policy is programmed in the hardware as soon as the leaf is booted. Option C. The immediate and on demand options require a port group to be created on the VDS. Option D. If on demand is selected. The policy is programmed in the hardware only when the APIC detects a VM created in the EPG. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. If on demand is selected. The policy is programmed in the hardware only when the first packet is received through the data path. Question 19. Refer to the exhibit. All switches are configured with the default OSPF priority. Which configuration should be applied to ensure that the SW2 Cisco Nexus switch controls the LSA floods and advertises the network to the remaining nodes in the OSPF v2 area? Option A. SW2 hash configure terminal SW2. Config hash interface Ethernet 1/1 SW2. Config if hash IP OSPF priority 255. Option B. SW2 hash configure terminal SW2. Config hash interface Ethernet 1/1 SW2. Config if hash IP OSPF priority 1. Option C. SW2 hash configure terminal SW2. Config hash router OSPF 1 SW2. Config router hash router ID 10 10 10 22. Option D. SW2 hash configure terminal SW2. Config hash interface Ethernet 1/1 SW2. Config if hash IP OSPF priority O. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. SW2 hash configure terminal SW2. Config hash interface Ethernet 1/1 SW2. Config if hash IP OSPF priority 255. Question 20. An engineer must configure a Nexus 7000 series switch for HSRP on VLAN 100. When fully functional, the router must be the active master. Which set of commands must be used to implement the scenario? Option A. Feature HSRP interface VLAN 100 IP address 10. 1 1 2255 255 255 0 priority 255 preempt HSRP version 2 HSRP 1000 IP 10. 1 1 1. Option B. Feature set HSRP interface VLAN 100 IP address 10. 1 1 2255 255 255 0 priority 20 preempt HSRP version 2 HSRP 1000 IP 10. 1 1 1. Option C. Feature set HSRP interface VLAN 100 IP address 10. 1 1 2255 255 255 0 priority 80 preempt HSRP version 2 HSRP 1000 IP 10. 1 1 1. Option D. Feature HSRP interface VLAN 100 IP address 10. 1 1 2255 255 255 0 priority 240 preempt HSRP version 2 HSRP 1000 IP 10. 1 1 1. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. Feature HSRP interface VLUM 100 IP address 10.1.1.2255 255 255 0 priority 255 preempt HSRP version 2 HSRP 1000 IP 10.1.1.1. Question 21. Which MAC address is in HSRP version 2? Option A. 3842.4250.0000. Option B. 0000. 0C07. AC1H. Option C. 0000. OC9F. F0C8. Option D. 0100. 5E7F. FFFF. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C 0000.0C9 FF0C8. Question 22. Refer to the exhibit. Which VLANs are capable to be assigned on VPC interfaces? Option A. 100 to 102. Option B. 100 to 103. Option C. 100 to 104. Option D. 100 to 105. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D 100 to 105. Question 23. An engineer need to implement a solution that prevents loops from occurring accidentally by connecting a switch to interface Ethernet 1/1. The port is designated to be used for host connectivity. Which configuration should be implemented? Option A. Switch #configure terminal switch. Config #interface Ethernet 1/1 switch. Config if #spanning tree BPDU guard enable. Option B. Switch #configure terminal switch. Config #interface Ethernet 1/1 switch. Config if #spanning tree guard loop. Option C. Switch #configure terminal switch. Config #interface Ethernet 1/1 switch. Config if #spanning tree loop guard default. Option D. Switch #configure terminal switch. Config #interface Ethernet 1/1 switch. Config if #spanning tree BPDU filter enable. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. Switch #configure terminal switch. Config #interface Ethernet 1/1 switch. Config if #spanning tree BPDU guard enable. Question 24. A network engineer repeatedly saves a configuration on catalyst switches to NVRAM using the write memory command. Which action should be taken to implement the same action on Nexus switches? Option A. Use the alias command to use the write memory command. Option B. Use the WRI command to use the copy running config startup config command. Option C. Use the exit command to leave the configuration mode and save the configuration automatically. Option D. Use the write memory command to save the configuration. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. Use the alias command to use the write memory command. Question 25. What occurs when running the command install deactivate less than file name greater than while a software maintenance upgrade is performed on a Cisco Nexus 9000 series switch? Option A. The current set of packages is committed. Option B. The package features for the line card are disabled. Option C. The package is removed from the switch. Option D. The current upgrade stops. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. The package features for the line card are disabled. Question 26. An engineer installed a new Nexus switch with the MGM0 interface in VRF management. Connectivity to the rest of the network needs to be tested from the guest shell of the NX OS. Which command tests connectivity from the guest shell of the NX OS? Option A. Email protected. $dohost, ping VRF management 173. 37. 145. 84 inches. Option B. Email protected. $CHVRF management ping 173. 37. 145. 84. Option C. Email protected. $ping 173. 37. 145. 84 VRF management. Option D. Email protected. $IPing VRF management IP 173. 37. 145. 84. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. Email protected. $CHVRF management ping 173.37.145.84. Question 27. A DNS server with IP address 192.168.1.1 is deployed in a data center. A network engineer must configure a Cisco UCS fabric interconnect to use this DNS. Which configuration should be applied? Option A. FICL management A sharp scope fabric interconnect FICL management A. Fabric interconnect hash set name 192.168.1.1 FICL management A. Fabric interconnect hash scope system FICL management A. System hash commit buffer. Option B. FICL management A sharp scope system FICL management A. System hash create DNS 192.168.1.1 FICL management A. System hash commit buffer. Option C. FICL management A sharp scope fabric interconnect FICL management A. Fabric interconnect hash set name 192.168.1.1 FICL management A. Fabric interconnect hash commit buffer. Option D. FICL management A sharp scope system FICL management A. System hash scope services FICL management A. System services hash create DNS 192.168.1.1 FICL management A. System services hash commit buffer. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D. FICL management A sharp scope system FICL management A. System hash scope services FICL management A. System services hash create DNS 192.168.1.1 FICL management A. System services hash commit buffer. Question 28. Refer to the exhibit. An engineer needs to implement a monitoring session that should meet the following requirements. Monitor traffic from leaf-to-leaf switches on a Cisco ACI network. Support filtering traffic from bridge domain or VRF. Which configuration must be added to meet these requirements? Option A. Interface eth1/2 leaf 101. Option B. Application EPG-EPG1 app1. Option C. Interface eth1/2 switch 101. Option D. Application app1 EPG-EPG1. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D. Application app1 EPG-EPG1. Question 29. An engineer is implementing OTV on a transport that supports multicast. The solution needs to meet the following requirements. Establish adjacency to the remote peer by using multicast. Enable OTV advertisements for VLAN 100 to the other site. Which two commands should be configured to meet these requirements? Choose 2. Option A. OTV extend VLAN 100. Option B. OTV site VLAN 100. Option C. OTV use adjacency server 172. 27. 255. 94. Option D. OTV data group 232. 2. 2. 028. Option E. OTV control group 232. 1. 1. 1. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. OTV extend VLAN 100. Option E. OTV control group 232.1.1.1. Question 30. An engineer needs to create a new user in the local user database on Cisco UCS Fabric Interconnect. The user needs permissions to change the following configuration inside UCS Manager version 3. 1. VNIC and VHBA profiles fan speed and power redundancy profile of UCS Manager. Which two roles must be assigned to a user to achieve this goal? Choose 2. Option A. Facility Manager. Option B. Server Equipment. Option C. Operations. Option D. Server Profile. Option E. Server Compute. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. Facility Manager. Option D. Server Profile. Question 31. Refer to the exhibit. Cisco Fabric Services is enabled in the network. Which type of IP address is used by the Cisco Fabric Services protocol? Option A. IPv4 multicast address. Option B. IPv4 unicast address. Option C. IPv4 gateway address. Option D. IPv4 anycast address. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. IPv4 multicast address. Question 32. Refer to the exhibit. A network engineer plans to upgrade the current software images of a Cisco Nexus switch. What is the impact of starting the EPLD upgrade? Option A. The switch reboots one time for the new EPLD versions to take effect. Option B. The switch reboots multiple times for the new EPLD versions to take effect. Option C. The switch skips the EPLD upgrade for each EPLD device of the switch. Option D. The switch skips the EPLD upgrade for MIFPGA and proceeds with the other EPLD devices. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option C. The switch skips the EPLD upgrade for each EPLD device of the switch. Question 33. Which behavior defines streaming telemetry as a push model in Cisco devices? Option A. Events and network changes generate telemetry data. Option B. Monitoring clients are pulling data from the network to see real-time statistics. Option C. JSON encoded telemetry data is transported using the gRPC protocol. Option D. The network devices send data in JSON or GPB format to configure endpoints. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option D. The network devices send data in JSON or GPB format to configure endpoints. Question 34. After a Cisco Nexus 7000 series switch chassis replacement, the administrator discovers that all VPC-enabled LACP port channels are reinitialized. The administrator wants to prevent this issue the next time the chassis is replaced. Which two actions must be taken to meet this requirement before the isolated device is reloaded? Choose 2. Option A. Change the VPC system priority of the replacement chassis to a higher value than the peer. Option B. Set the VPC MAC address to a higher value than the peer. Option C. Configure auto recovery to the disabled state on both peers. Option D. Set the VPC MAC address to a lower value than the peer. Option E. Change the VPC system priority of the replacement chassis to a lower value than the peer. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. Set the VPC MAC address to a higher value than the peer. Option C. Configure auto recovery to the disabled state on both peers.